Hello and welcome back to another lore video. This time we're going to be talking about Gul'dan. Now, since Gul'dan and Ner'zhul were sort of involved near the start, it's probably worth watching my Ner'zhul video first, just because there's some overlap. Now, let's go on to Gul'dan himself. Well, he was the apprentice of Ner'zhul, and after Ner'zhul agreed to get the orcs to attack the Draenor and all those sort of things were covered in that video, he noticed that things went amiss. He couldn't call on the spirits of his ancestors, and he also noticed that the Draenor and Kil'jaeden looked alike. And Kil'jaeden had been posting as a deity, and it didn't really, like, his behaviour and his vitriol and anger against the Draenor didn't really seem becoming of a deity. So after going to Oshu'gun and communing with the spirits, he realised that he had been tricked. Now, Gul'dan followed him, and wanting power for himself, he ratted him out to Kil'jaeden. He made a deal with Kil'jaeden that he would unite the orcs in return for getting extremely powerful warlock powers. Gul'dan formed the Shadow Council and then manipulated Blackhand and installed him as the puppet leader of the Horde, and this eventually led to the drinking of the blood of Mannoroth, which is what corrupted the orcs, making them completely bound to the Burning Legion and very barbaric. That was, of course, everyone apart from one clan, the Frostwolf clan. They decided that, well, basically Ner'zhul saw some Shadow Council documents about this, and he warned all the clans, but everybody basically just disregarded him, apart from Durotan, who realised how dangerous this corruption would be, and that spared the Frostwolves from the majority of the corruption. So, after the orcs defeated the Draenor, they were forced into hiding, and he was able to found his own clan called the Stormreavers. And Gul'dan, he was eventually contacted by Medivh, who was at the time possessed by Sargeras. Gul'dan was offered godlike powers if he could locate the tomb of Sargeras, and Gul'dan agreed with this, and thus the Shadow Council opened the Dark Portal into Azeroth. During the First War, Gul'dan and his apprentice Cho'Gall manipulated various elements of the Horde and that sort of thing, all trying to find this mythical tomb. And on the eve of the attack on Stormwind, Gul'dan he found out that there was a raiding party that was about to head to Karazhan to kill Medivh, and realising that this wizard, Medivh, he probably in his head had the location of the tomb of Sargeras, well, Gul'dan needed to go and find a way, didn't he? So what he did was he racked Medivh's mind, trying to find the location. But unfortunately for Gul'dan, while he was inside Medivh's mind, Medivh was killed, and this put Gul'dan into a coma for quite a while. And without Gul'dan there to advise him, Blackhand was killed by Ogrim Doomhammer. Blackhand really, without the Council of Gul'dan, was far less powerful, and that allowed Blackhand to take leadership of the Horde, and the vast majority of the Shadow Council were killed. One of the people who Gul'dan trusted was the half-orc, half-Draenor, Garona, and she was horribly tortured, basically, to find out where the Shadow Council were hiding. So when he awoke, Gul'dan, really, the only people who were loyal to him were Cho'Gall and his Necrolites. Everyone else was dead. So Doomhammer did spare his life in exchange for information on the location of Blackhand's remaining followers, which were namely his two sons, and they were plotting to kill Doomhammer and take back leadership. So basically this whole thing was dealt with. And Gul'dan wanted to create an army of Death Knights by killing his Necrolites, then capturing their souls in these crystals and binding them to the bodies of dead Stormwind Knights. Now, this army was supposedly for Doomhammer, but ultimately they were loyal to Gul'dan. After all, he did create them, so fair enough. Right before the assault on Lordaeron City, Gul'dan took the Twilight's Hammer clan, which was Cho'Gall's clan, and the Stormreaver clan, which was his own, and they went to find the tomb of Sargeras. And unfortunately for the Horde, this meant they lost the war, because half the troops that were about to storm into Lordaeron City were gone, and in order to at least try to have some semblance of getting some of his guys back, Doomhammer decided to pursue Gul'dan, and ultimately no one was there. The Alliance were able to rally, and it really secured the Alliance their victory, this whole him having to run away thing. Well, run away in pursuit. Now, Gul'dan did eventually find the tomb, and he rose it from the depths of the ocean, but unfortunately for him, as soon as he went inside, he was slaughtered by a host of demons, absolutely torn to shreds, and in the end, just before the end really, he realised that he was just a pawn to the Burning Legion like his master was. So at least his final thoughts were grim. Now, his skull is still an object of immense power. It was actually later used to destroy the Black Portal, then to reopen it again, and various things like that. And the most recent thing in sort of the timeline is that Illidan, yes. Illidan took the skull of Gul'dan, and that's what really made Illidan half-demon. So, in Warlords of Draenor, he commands his clan in Shadowmoon Valley, and they actually seem to be at odds. Them and the Shadowmoon clan seem to be at odds with each other, which is rather interesting because previously it was more Gul'dan being the apprentice of Ner'zhul, so that's interesting. And to round off the video, I'm just going to go over what Blizzard themselves say about him on the Warlords of Draenor website. Indebted to a demonic lord and pitted against the mentor which he betrayed, Gul'dan is one of a handful of fell orcs on Draenor, his visage and shamanistic power twisted balefully by demonic corruption. The outcasts that he leads, the Stormreaver clan, now fight to wrest their rightful place within the Iron Horde from Gul'dan's former master Ner'zhul, and to tempt the Iron Horde into infernal corruption. Now, I'd imagine that Garrosh, if he does have any power, maybe he's killed off quickly in leveling, but I'm no certainty Garrosh wouldn't let this happen, so it'll be interesting to find out how that plays out. Anyway, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.